Hey guys, Megan here. So as many of you know, my husband, myself, and our 2-year-old son are in the process of developing a homestead. But the problem is we don't have any experience in homesteading. We don't have families who homestead, we don't have friends who homestead, and obviously we have never homesteaded before. It is a whole new world. But there's not that many places to go where you can actually get hands-on experience learning to homestead. I've reached out on Facebook groups and everything, and there's just not that many people who are willing to teach you the skills you need to know. So we're kind of up on our own trying to figure this whole mess out. It's okay. Good thing we love to learn. But one of my favorite tools to learn to homestead is YouTube. That's the whole reason I started this YouTube channel. I wanted to form a community where we can learn this together because no one's going to teach it to us. I have been poring over YouTube videos for over a year, trying to learn each little tip that I can to make our homesteading days much easier. And I have for you my top 5 homesteading channels that you should watch to help you learn how to homestead. Now, number 1 is the first channel that actually got me interested in homesteading, and that is the Homesteading Family. They are a large family who has very simple values, just to love each other, not to be adorned by materialistic items, and I love it. I love watching them. I love learning from them. So on their channel, they teach about everything from running a homestead with a big family, how to get kids involved in chores, how to plan out and survive the busy homesteading days, how to homeschool your children, different tips about canning, different tips about gardening, and just general homesteading skills. They really have everything. And they have an amazing backlog of videos that will be a fantastic resource for you. Now, number 2 is the Prairie Homestead. Jill Winger over at the Prairie Homestead, she's amazing in the kitchen. If you do not have her cookbook, you should get it. I love it. We make all kinds of recipes out of this cookbook, and they always turn out so good. She has also been my go-to for learning how to make sourdough. Telling you, go check her out. But Jill over at the Prairie Homestead also has a good angle of teaching you how to turn your homestead into a business. She's a super smart businesswoman, and she is willing to share the knowledge. So if you want to turn your homestead into a business, head on over to the Prairie Homestead. You won't be disappointed. Number 3 is Roots and Refuge Farm. And they're not on my favorite list just because they're moving to South Carolina where we are. But that helps because they're going from an established small homestead to moving to South Carolina where they have tons of acreage. But they have to start their homestead over from scratch. It doesn't even have a house on it yet. So watching them start from the ground up has been so educational at showing me what issues we may run into along the way. So if you're in the process of trying to build your homestead from scratch, or you want fantastic gardening tips and to see how a garden changes each and every week, head on over to Roots and Refuge Farm. Number 4 is The Fit Farmer. This is another one that will show you how to start a homestead from nothing. But not only that, he actually has a market garden business where he sells his produce to other individuals to be able to sustain his homestead. And wouldn't it be awesome if you could sustain your homestead too off vegetables you grew? But his family is amazing, and I absolutely love the little tips and tidbits they throw in about different weeds that you find in the garden that actually aren't weeds. They can be completely edible or used for medicinal purposes. And it's something I never thought of before, so I love to learn from them. Number 5 is Off Grid with Dough and Stacey. Now, if you're in the homesteading community, I am sure you have heard of Dough and Stacey. They're pretty cool to watch. So Dough and Stacey live completely off-grid. They can show you different ways to catch water, run water, use an outdoor shower, maybe compost toilets, cook without electricity. These are different skills you may need on your homestead, even if you don't plan to go off-grid. Anything can happen. Power can go out, and you need to be prepared to care for those in your homestead and all the livestock depending on you. Off-Grid with Dough and Stacey is a fantastic place to start. If I had to add in a number 6 on this list, it would absolutely be Better Together Life. They also took and started a homestead from scratch, and turned a shed into a home. And so they did it almost completely debt-free. And that is something that I absolutely love. But they also have an amazing rainwater catchment system that I envy and hope to one day copy for our homestead. There are other homestead favorite families that didn't make it on this list, and you might be surprised about that. Some of them didn't make it on there because I find them to be more vlog type style videos where you can just watch a day in the life and not as educational, even though they throw in educational tips. It's just not what I'm looking for when I'm trying to learn how to homestead. But if you want to learn what it's like to be a homesteader, then you should totally check out these videos. So the Holler Homestead, they're fantastic. They actually traveled in an RV to find where to settle down. They are now settled on a homestead in North Carolina, and you can see their process of beginning to get that homestead off the ground while having a baby at the same time. Art and Bree, I really like watching Art and Bree. I am really enthralled right now by Bree's pregnancy. She's pregnant with twins. She plans to home birth or something similar if she's able to by the end of the time, and I love that because if I am ever blessed to have another child, I also want a home birth. So Bree, right now, you're my role model. Last but not least, certainly, is the Justin Rhodes Show, or I think he's now going just by Justin Rhodes. But anyways, he has a ton of videos. And he also has a paid membership area where I think you can get more educational type videos than what you can just get on YouTube. But either way, he literally vlogs almost every day. Very possibly every day. And you can actually see what he does throughout his life and how he incorporates his children into his homestead goals. Guys, there are lightning bugs out all over. I know some of y'all out west have probably never seen lightning bugs, but they are just a joy for me, and they keep distracting me, so if I'm looking away, I'm so sorry. But that's it, guys. These are my top 5 favorite YouTube channels that I love to watch to learn how to homestead, plus some additionals that are just fun to watch, and you may get some educational tips along the way. If you have a favorite channel where people can go to learn how to homestead, leave that down in the comments below. We want to watch it, whether it's your channel or just someone you look up to. We want to know about it. So drop us a comment.